Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Straight Line Racing League here for the third round of the T1 Championship here on F1 2019. And it is the Shanghai Chinese Grand Prix. As you can see, we've got some people going out, getting ready to do some laps here. We're at the end of the qualifying session, and we are looking forward to seeing who's going to be setting the fastest lap. I am your commentator, Owen Wyatt. And yeah, welcome along, everybody. Hope you've all had a lovely week and a lovely Sunday. All the footballs we've had this weekend have been great. And yeah, ready to finish it off with some lovely league racing. That's the way it should work. Anyway, we've got people like say on Outlast at the moment. Blunt, he decided he was going to back out of his first attempt, and that could be his qualifying done there. We'll see if he can come back out, but I guess he can actually. Look out for him actually, he could be the last man across the line. He's currently P4, so it's not the end of the world if he doesn't get a lap in, I guess, but then again, we are only in the 1 minute 30s. He's expected to be in the 1 minute 29s, I would have thought, by the end of this, and Service is on a night lap, so we've got to keep an eye on him because he could be the pace setter once again. He was the pace setter in the earlier runs anyway. Got a comment already, holy moly. 5 years as well, welcome. Oh, it's raining. Okay, I was wondering why everyone was going to be on soft, because I thought it could be mediums qualifying. Okay, so it's a wet race. That might be also why the times are higher, because, well, you're not running a full dry setup. So, cheers, Danny, for the informations. Very useful. It means that this will be pretty much everyone qualifying on the sauce, then, I would guess. Apart from, what is that name? Pony. And Skin Up, because they're in the pits still. Blunt as well. But let's get ready to watch others first and then catch up, I think, with Surface when he comes closer to the end. We've got 7 people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As Blunt, yes, retires as he's in the pits, not on the track. No point waiting about. And Keaton says it's going to rain in the first 5-ish laps. Do we know how heavy it's going to be? So, okay, let me get this. So it's going to be dry as the lights go out, but it's going to rain. I assume to intermediate, so maybe wet, you never know. So that's pretty interesting. I've never seen it before like that on an F1 game, at least not that I can remember, where we've had a race start dry, go wet, only a couple of laps in. That is going to possibly still stretch these salts. We'll wait and see how long they last, but here comes Petrus to the line. Expect a slightly slower time than you would have imagined in the dry, and it was an invalid improvement, or maybe just not enough to make a position. Here comes the Pirates round the final corner. Skinner is 11th. What's he going to do with his strategy? Does he risk it on a slightly longer run, hope it won't rain for a while, as Pirates improves P6 but doesn't move up? Here is Surface. I think that saw Calcus just ahead. Indeed it did. In fact, KP is going to be the last one across the line of the big guns. Millix Jr. also someone to look at, but I mean, you know, top 3. Calcus has gone a bit deep, but that can help your exit here as the Pirate retires from the session. Final corner for Calcus. It's a really difficult one to get right. You can slightly cut it, but you cannot do that, and that's in the wall and out of qualifying. What about Surface? Final corner. Provisional pole already. Can he improve that time? Yes, he can, by 0.4 of a second, up 0.5 clear of the rest of the field. Here is KP. What about CYP? Where is he at? He's also behind. Berra behind 2, and Danny way behind. Probably the very last person across the line to finish at qualifying. But here comes KP, currently in P2. Half a second off pole position, looking to try and get himself a bit higher up. He might well derate to the line though, and he may have invalidated it as well, but he didn't. He improved, but not by much. CYP is coming now to the end of the lap, and ahead of him, I think, is Berra. P9 he goes. CYP, half a second up. That's not going to be enough to move up any positions, and he does stay in 8th place, so it's all the way down now. He didn't realise it was going to be a wet start, so he hasn't actually done a lap on these tyres yet. I assume he was going to do the mediums, but here he comes. Let's see what his pace is like through the final corner. Not going to be pole, but it is P5, I think that was. So good qualifying then for him in the end. And yeah, reminder, it's going to be dry for the first couple of laps and then it's going to rain. So that's going to be pretty good, I think, for the entertainment values. Can't wait to see how this one's going to go. But here is the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix here in SLR. Surface on pole by nearly half a second to KP, who's also another 3/10 clear of Calcus, and then Blunt, Danny, Millix Jr., Pirate, Petrus, CIP, Berra, and then I said top 10 Pony and Skin Up. And like I say, it's going to rain, so all could be up in the air here with this race. Certainly stay tuned, because we're in for a good time, I think. It's going to be a very entertaining race. Like I said, do feel free to be active in the chat as well. Oh, other way round. Sorry, I'm getting myself mixed. Alright, sorry. Rain for the first 5 laps and then dry. I've definitely never seen that before. I've seen rain where it could start wet and then look like it's going dry, and then it just doesn't. So you're saying rain for the first 5-ish laps. As you can see, it is raining. I thought it'd be dry to wet. That would have been really fascinating. But it'd be fun the other way around as well. All about your crossover points, and it probably will still be a one-stop, I'd imagine, just to go into hard to the end. It'll probably be what lap 6, lap 7, then I guess, when we see the pit stops for dries. So it's basically like doing your first stint, except it's on a different tyre and it's wet, and that could create some dramas. So it depends really now what people are doing. Are they going to go in full wet setups, so sort of drier setups? Or fully dry? It's just one of the three. Will they take the risk at the start in the wet and fly off into the distance, or what will they do? Let's find out. Only waiting for surface now. You ready up? Come on, we're all waiting on you. Now, surprise, surprise, we're all on the intermediates. So yeah, no real point showing now. Let's show position changes instead for this. So let's go for the grid. On board race driver, it is surface on pole from KP in P2. Calkers is third. Alpha Romeo looking very nice in the wet, I must say. Blunt in P4. Danny in 5th place, with Millix in 6th. The Pirate is 7th, and Petrus 8th. CIP is 9th, and then it's Berra 10th, with Pony and Skin Up outside the top 10. So if you're in the chat, like I say, do feel free to be all chatty. I shall be reading the chat. We've got 28 laps here, so I'll certainly be looking down a few times during the race to see what people are up to, see what they're saying. Get involved. Let me know who you think's going to win the race, and yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I mean, a safe man's bet would say surface, but you just don't know. These conditions could shake it up a little bit, or it could not. Only one way to find out, though. That's by watching it all unfold. Also looking for people who are spinning off on this formation lap. It may sound a bit silly to say that, but it does happen quite often. I mean, even on, especially in the real F1, we see that quite a lot on tracks like this. We saw it twice in the real F1 this season on a formation lap. But yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be that stupid though. In my very first China League race on F1 2017, I lost it on that straight, actually. I'm sure I could probably find the clip and put it onto Twitter. I'm sure someone would have noticed it. But, yeah. I need to find that. It's good times, that race. I mean, I led it into turn 2 as well, and then had a crash. It was really funny. And I was last and still came 6th. Loved that race. But, will anyone be able to do that type of mental stuff? We've got some Team Bearer people in here. We've got Knuffle Beast, and we've also got oh, that's a great name, Zero F1 Zero. I'm gonna something like that. And also Bearer himself, I'm probably sure is part of his own fan club. But we're all lined up on the grid now, parking up at the back. It is Skin Up, and we're ready. It is a wet start here in China. Look at all the steam coming off the cars there, but we've got 5 red lights. Lights out, away we go. Pretty even start from the front row. Looking okay from Calkers as well there, but he should get round the outside to turn 1 if he's brave enough. But it's just in the way. It's so stupid. Oh, that's Downey almost into the back, but we're 3 wide into turn 2. KP trying to hold on to that P2, but Calkers is not giving him a single inch, and he's going back up the inside like he did at turn 1, except he's actually going to make it work. He went around the outside of turn 1 and inside turn 2. He made it all work, point is. And he's up into P2. Will Danny go from 5th all the way up to 3rd on the start? I'll be pretty happy with that. And KP's got it all running the brakes. There goes Millix Jr. mugging them both. And Blunt 2. I'm going to get position change up here. It's going to be quite important in a minute, because these guys are about to start crashing into each other, I reckon, as we're going side by side. Like I say, in the wet here, it's so much more difficult to make this sort of thing work. It's really impressive. These guys side by side, and Blunt keeping P4. So Danny in the end has fallen in position, and KP, biggest loser you could say on that one, 3 places down from 2nd on the grid. But it is Surface who leads this dominantly already. But the rain is not here to last too long. Oh, Danny's had contact, isn't going to spin, but it doesn't look like a broken front wing either, so he's got away with that one. But maybe getting a bit flustered on the start, and we could see more free wide action on this back straight. On board with CIP, not able to make much of an advantage there, but look at this. Here comes Blunt, side by side. They're pushing each other right onto the edge of the track and onto the grass nearly. But Blunt, can he get this done on the inside? He's fought hard for it, and trying to crowd Millix wide a little bit. It's not quite going to work, I don't think. Oh, what happened there? Millix just drove onto the grass and lost the position, and there's a bit of bollard falling off there. And now goes KP. Millix has got some from it issue. I don't know what was going on. He just turned right for some reason on a straight line onto grass, but he's just lost 2 positions in 2 corners. Danny is now clear of Petrus, and looks like Pony's trying to find his way around the outside. CYP, and yeah, not going to work there. A bit like we saw at the start there. Looks like Millix has got back by though, KP. So KP and Millix are both kind of struggling in their own ways, but Millix is actually making positions up, so you can't really complain too much, at least on his side. And there is side by side, Pony and the Pirate. Bit of drifting action going on through there. It can be difficult to get through these first couple of laps, but as long as we all keep on this track and keep not crashing, and you know, oh dear, Pirate wide, that could end badly. He's lagging a bit as well, and Millix Jr. I think this is a glitch there of the game actually. I don't think he's actually moved any positions. I think that's just doing the classic lap 2 glitch there. The game is, so just ignore any of those position changes. They'll update at the end of the lap, I think. Skin up, passing Barrett. Same with gaps. I don't think gaps change that often on the second lap. We'll just wait. We'll wait this out. They may change a few of them, but at the moment. Oh, that's into the wall. Millix is out of the race. And he's been struggling. He struggled on the end of lap 1. He just seemed to not be able to get the traction down at all at any point. And he's found the barriers. He's out in lap 2. And what I said, if everyone can just keep it on the track in the early stages, it could pay dividends for them later on. But unfortunately, he hasn't been able to do so. As Danny fights with Petrus for P5 it is now. I'll see when it looks out of this one. Calkers sets the fastest out of the race. And look at him. He's right up on the back of our race leader Surface. And there's a Pirate off to Narnia, I thought that was there. Certainly somebody went off the track, but yeah, look at this. We've got a leading battle. Surface saying what he didn't really want to see here in his push for the championship. And Alfa Romeo trying to pass him in the rain. This could lead to some fireworks, couldn't it? When is the Alfa's first opportunity? It's probably here, but has he got the braking power? Is he confident enough? Obviously, we've got no assists here. This is like a nightmare situation trying to pass in the rain. You go a bit offline, your car's going to be locking up like a madman. It's going to be like a stoner. So you've got to choose your moment. It'll probably be down the back straight. There will be no DRS to help, of course, since it is wet. DRS's class is dangerous, so you can't use it. But we'll see what he does, because if they take too long, then Blunt could get involved. And it certainly looks like Surface is probably more on a dry-ish setup. That would explain why he was so far ahead in qualifying. But as I say, if the people on the weather settings could take advantage early on, it could work in the end. But this has to be a move for the lead now, or else Blunt will be right on them. So here we go. Down the back straight. No DRS, it is just ERS you get to take advantage of here. And the slipstream, of course, as well from the car ahead as Calkers closes. Surface defending to the inside line. But Calkers trying to psych him out, and he's done so. Into the lead he goes, and he may fall down a third will Surface, and that's exactly what Calkers wanted to do there. He wanted to make sure that Surface was a bit psyched out really. He didn't want to, you know, actually go for the move. He knew he could just pressurize the mistake, or, you know, pressure Surface into a mistake. And down to third, the runner driver goes. How far will he fall behind these guys? It is still raining, by the way, so we won't be going dry for a while, I don't think. So if they are on a wetter setup that they can help use to, you know, great advantage, then they need to hurry up and pull away before it stops raining, because they can build quite a big advantage there. Clever with this, as Petrus has been off the track, by the way. That's what we're watching. He was on the grass there at turn 2. So whatever's gone wrong, must have been a fight with Danny and CYP. Maybe they went 3 wide, who knows, because they're still going for these two. And it looks like KP now is on the back of Surface. I don't think there's any damage on the runaway, it's just a setup thing. And you take an advantage, like I said, in the wet and then in the dry, it's a different story. So we could see a really fascinating battle for this win later on, depending on whether these guys collide or anything. But here we go. Blunt now trying to pass Kalkers. It is the Alfa Romeo Ferrari versus the Ferrari. That classic phrase that Martin Brundle loves to use. But here we go. Much better run for Blunt. It should be a pretty easy move. He's got a little bit more ERS, not that it really matters. They're still way up in the high numbers. And Blunt to the inside. Wish we could look behind to see the other battle. But Blunt is into the lead of this race. Does he get the braking right though? Into the hairpin, the heaviest braking zone on the track. He does indeed get it right, and the Ferrari driver takes the lead from 4th on the grid, and they're still pulling away from Surface, who is, as I say, still under pressure here from KP, and wide as well, but no way free for KP just yet. Kalkers and Blunt need to be careful. They've already made a 2-second advantage over Surface, but they could be pulling away more if they don't fight this too hard. And, well, is it still raining? It is not raining anymore, so it could be this lap, could be next lap that they get into the pit lane. I'm sure their goal will be to make, what, 5 seconds, something like that, with their advantage, but we'll see what happens. If KP goes for a move, that could really affect this. But he's not really close enough at the moment either, and Kalkers is right on Blunt. I just hope these two don't sabotage themselves, that's all I'm hoping. But we'll see what they do. So the question is, who wants to take the plunge on lap 5? Will anyone decide that they're going to pit? Because if they do pit, then that sort of throws this onto a bit of a shambles, because it could be a great decision, could be a poor decision, it could make or break the race for everyone really here today, spectators and drivers. KP not really on the back there as Blunt goes a bit wide. No real way to pass though here, unless you get the exit, but then again this corner drags you into that top curve, can really screw you, and they're both struggling now. Blunt and Kalkers pushing each other through the corner, and side by side once again for the lead of this race. There is the Alfa Romeo right there in the background, and now pulling in to hit the toe as they head down towards the hairpin, side by side for the lead for the 3rd lap in a row. Who gets this one right on the outside? It is Kalkers who has to be pushed off the track, and it's now a mad dash into the pit lane, I think, because we've got DRS enabled. Down the inside goes Kalkers, taking the lead into the pit lane. You can do that, it's perfectly legal, and Blunt has been caught completely off guard. Possible broken front wing there as well, and Blunt got that completely wrong. Surface into the pits as well, as is KP and pretty much the rest of the field. Does Surface get held up at all? Yes, he does, but so... oh, he doesn't actually, he got out well. Blunt wasn't. He wasn't so lucky. Kalkers is miles clear right now. Surface is now into 2nd place. KP 3rd. Danny will be 4th, ahead of Blunt, who's now down to 5th. CIP is 6th place. Petrus comes out 7th, Pony 8th, and we've got Yellow straight out of the pit lane. Who's been off the track? No one's in too much trouble, but looks like Blunt is passing. And let's see actually what the tyres are, of course. We're going to see plenty of different strategies. Kalkers on the mediums, Surface on hards, KP on hards, Blunt on the softs, Danny on hards, CIP on hards, and they're both struggling those two to get those heated up. Petrus and Pony on the soft, skin up on hards, and mediums for the back two of Pirate and Berra. So there we go, there's the wet phase over, and Kalkers, you have to say, is the big winner here. He made that move into the pit lane, and he had the Sebastian Vettel sort of mindset there. I remember back in 2016 when Sebastian Vettel as a pony goes off the track trying to get those tyres heated up and broken nothing on the car, luckily for him, but still down to last. But no, like I say, we had Kalkers doing what Vettel did in 2016 in China. The guys are so slow in the pit lane, so Vettel just said, screw it, I'm going to pass you. And Kalkers did it a bit earlier, mind you, but still same sort of idea. So really intelligent driving from Kalkers there to get ahead. And well, we saw how much it held up Blunt. He's now trying to get himself back through the field on those soft red tyres. You'd expect him to really sort of close out quite quickly to Surface and Kalkers, especially since he's going to have to really pull a gap when he does the earlier pit stop. Can the hard runners get to the end? They probably can, but will they have any tyre grip or pace left? We'll wait and see, but this is a very intriguing battle. We'll go right to the end. There is Skin Up off the racetrack, going very wide at the hairpin. And we will see him coming round about 3 seconds off the car he was fighting, who was the Pirate. Blunt now, going for Surface. Will he get him round the outside? Will he switch to the inside? He's got the grip to do both, I think, but we'll see what he does. I think he locked up there on the rear. It almost looked like he was sort of being turned around there, but down the inside, there goes Danny off the track. And Blunt P2. Mr. McMahon, welcome. You're sort of on time. You missed all the wet stuff though. So yeah, but look, I saw Danny off the racetrack, and he's somehow still 5th, so that's okay-ish. And Keaton's saying that you have to be very conservative if they want to get to the end of these hards, and that's what I'm saying. Kalkers and Blunt should probably be more, an advantage still, I would have thought, but we'll see how this all pans out. Petrus and CIP are still fighting away, and Danny as well, as Petrus takes the less than optimal line out of the race, but Danny was also off the track. I think everyone's sort of still struggling to get their grip up. And you can see that is the second car to be into that barrier today. It's a really difficult track, this one. It's damp, isn't it? Oh dear. Kalker's fastest lap. That will be encouraging news for him, but he's about to get some bad news because there is Blunt also setting a fastest lap. And you got Surface going into turn 1. I don't know if KP's really catching him or not yet. We'll see. We shall see how this all pans out. This is a big waiting game, I think, here. We'll wait and see what these guys get up to. As a pony system really fast out there. They're really getting to it now. Right then. So let's just try and give a bit of a recap on this. Let's go to position change, just to sort of tell you what's going on. Kalkers and Blunt, I think, had a slightly more wet weather oriented setup, it feels like to me, but we'll see how maybe later on to the race it shows itself. But Blunt and Kalkers got themselves ahead of Surface and KP, and they got it done while it was still raining, which meant they could pull away. Surface was on pole, as you could see, and he fell down as well as KP, and they're sort of still kind of struggling for pace right now, but they're on the hards. They've been going very long compared to the guys ahead. And the reason why Kalkers is ahead of Blunt, if you didn't see it, great driving from the Alfa Romeo into the pit lane. These two are side by side, and Kalkers launched one up the inside into the pit lane, doing a sort of Sebastian Vettel style thing, and it worked out for him. Did him wonders. And yeah, it looks like CYP is getting himself past Danny, as Kalkers now sits in our fastest lap, soon to be followed by Blunt and probably more as well, as Danny side by side as CYP. Why did he overtake off the track there? You could argue it doesn't really matter. He's ahead again, Danny. And we're fighting towards turn 1 as Berre gets a 5-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits. Those technicalities always seem a bit too harsh, but CYP and Danny, is Danny going to keep his nose in? Will he be able to get by without any sort of incident? Looks like. Oh no, a little bit of a tap, and Danny back ahead. Anywhere into the hairpin for CIP to come back. I'm sure the collision wasn't really intentional from either of them. I guess they just sort of went into each other a little bit. Wow, why are we all saying Barra P1? And who's that? Is that Kalkers? Kalkers off the track. Kalkers has lost it. He's blown it. No damage, but he's out of the lead of this race and Surface right on the back of him now. So Blunt has to absolutely get the hammer down. What has Kalkers done? He was in the lead. He had it in his hands for about, he had a 5-second advantage. It was going down to 4, but he still had a healthy sort of gap before Blunt was to get to the pits, I'm sure. But now he's under pressure and possibly about to fall down to P4. Horrible camera view as usual. I have to watch from the back of KP, I reckon, as Kalkers falls to 3rd and falls very quickly to 4th. Oh, nearly being run into. But what about KP? Does he get by 2 cars in one straight? Not quite. He also gets a penalty for cutting the corner. And Kalkers' race has just gone from looking really, really good, 30 seconds to go, to complete shambles. Berra is not going to win, right? I know you all want him to win. It's time to fast lap on mediums. He's got some he's got some good pace, really good pace. Berra's not going to win unless we get a miracle. But then again, we did just see the leader crash off the track nearly, so I guess miracles do happen, but it's a very low chance. Surface, I'm surprised he still had a KP, and I'm also surprised that KP got that penalty. I wonder if he'll try to appeal it. He did cut the corner though, to be fair, and it was not like it was the biggest cut of all time, but he still blatantly cut it. That might be what stops him getting that penalty removed. It does feel unfair, especially since he's going right to the end. He may have a chance to get it appealed. We will see though what happens with that. But it looks like Kalkers is starting to come back on the Toro Rosso driver. Danny getting a 3-second time penalty, but going very quickly while he's doing it. Blunt is now 2.2 seconds ahead, so it looks like Surface is starting to get some grip on these tyres. They take a while to heat up, especially on a damper track. But now they're certainly up to temperature and they are starting to motor to the back of Blunt. Can Kalkers still end up in leading this race yet? We'll wait and see, but at the moment he's really falling. Oh, the regret, I can imagine, would be quite colossal. But to the final corner, it does look like the DRS in the turn one's pretty useless unless you're right on the back, so there's no point sort of hyping it up, I don't think. Surface fastest lap, Kalkers fastest lap, Danny fastest lap, CRP fastest lap. Every single lap this track is ramping up and getting quicker. Yeah, Alfie's saying that the soft tyres will go off, and indeed they will, but what does he go on to? He can go on to mediums probably to get to the end, and he may well catch up to these guys if he pits early enough. We'll wait and see though. Like I say, this whole sort of race is a bit of a waiting game. Who sort of has the better strategy? Who comes out on top? Because at the end of the day, we've got 3 different combos of tyres in the top 4, something you don't see very often, especially at this stage of the race. That is what the rain will do though. And Pony does go on to that medium strategy, so will Blunt follow him in on this lap, because the gap is down to below 2 seconds now, and the advantage he has on these tyres is starting to go away. And he probably would have a decent gap to fall into. He'd probably be around sort of skin up, maybe, I don't know what the gap, 20 seconds, maybe around between skin up and pirate, I would have thought. But let's see what he will do. I imagine though he'll be in the pit at the end of this lap. I don't know if he has to stream on, but I suggest pitting. DRS now for KP. Catching quite quickly, but more ERS for Surface, so he could probably have plenty to defend with. But we'll see how that affects. We'll see how that affects Blunt's advantage if they do start to fight. Let's see if he gets into the pits. He's not on this lap. CYP on the back of Downey trying to get by, but no cigar there. And here comes KP. I said you have to be really close to go for this into turn 1. He is going to try it, but it hasn't worked out, and down the inside Kalkers may try. KP doing the switchback on Surface, but not making it stick. And the gap's still going down. It's 1.6 now. Blunt, I think you have to get into the pits, lad. You've got to get it into the pits. Well, how's that gap looking? Still 23 seconds, so he's still falling into that sort of area. But he's losing seconds to the leaders, and that could be crucial as this race comes to its end. Calkers as well. You really got to look at Calkers because he will pit again, of course. But would send it this little bit longer. Maybe put Calkers back ahead with the extra grip he has at the start of the stint, and then pitting for maybe Sauce at the end. Calkers may not be out of this one yet. We'll wait and see. But not quite going to be DRS surface just yet. But KP certainly will have some. But is he close enough? No. Nowhere near. We're looking at pitting, I think, now Blunt, as he heads down into the hairpin. I mean, that's a proper trade now. If he stays out another lap, he is absolutely screwed. And in pits, he's in the pits. Into the pits. Not going to hit anything on this time. Surface is the fast lap of the race. And it is the medium tyre. So, I'm expecting Blunt to come out between the pyre and skin up. So we're right on board with a Red Bull driver and wait to see the Ferrari. Is he ahead? He should be. Look out on the right hand side. There he is. So another lap, he would have been behind now, and that could be a godsend being ahead there. He's now got 6 seconds ahead of him to get these tyres up to temperature and make this work. Jerry spun again in ILR. Oh dear. I know how it feels though to spin off an ILR. I did it last week from the lead. I was out. This would be a Hungary remake. Alfie, I don't know what Hungary was. I forgot. Was I present for Hungary? What happened in Hungary? Do tell us, sir. I don't know. Anyway, DRS for the lead of the race it is now. KP trying to get by Surface. He's probably sitting there thinking, what have I got back here? Will he go for it? Nah. We're just going to be waiting, I think, ages to wait for these guys to do something. I think Blunt is going to be sitting there willing them on, say, go on, fight it, fight it, fight it, fight it. Hamilton is Blunt. Right, I thought you were talking about a league racing thing. It's all about Hamilton these days, isn't it? God's sake, I'm disappointed in you, Mr. McGuire. I'm disappointed in you. God damn Hamilton. Right, anyway. Fighting. Look, we don't care about Hamilton. We're looking about Surface and KP and Calkers all locking horns and going for it. We'll worry about Hamilton later. I mean, does none of these guys fancy a dive bomb? They must fancy a dive bomb at some point because they're gonna know, especially Calkers, that he has to do something. He really does have to get his act together because he's already been off the track once. He should be miles clear of these guys. He's on potentially still better tyres at this stage of the race. He needs to get a move on with this. Apparently United winning 4-0, by the way. Chelsea being relegated is so badly needed. It's not even funny. Anyway. Sorry, that's football related. Does that mean you know? Oh crap! United are going to go top at this rate. Maybe stop there. Anyway, KP not going to happen. I don't think. Maybe more Calkers. And again, Surface on the DRS. So technically, it should actually be pretty much equal between KP and Calkers for straight line speed. Does KP go for it? He does actually. So to me saying there's no chance, but I'm staying on board with Calkers because they are very deep into that corner. KP takes the lead of this race. What about Calkers though? He has to hurry up and do something. Here he goes. Will he do it into turn 1 as KP sets his fastest lap and lead of this race? But look at the run the Surface has got on him now. Great DRS usage there. He seems to have much more straight line speed with the DRS enabled. It took a good dive bomb from KP to get the move done. And well, that top 3 they're still pretty close, but it's now in a different order, and we are now past the halfway point in this race as Blunt, dun dun dun, fastest lap. Calkers not moving, not going for it yet. I don't know, I'm starting to worry if this strategy isn't going to work for the hard compound runners. Look how far Blunt is behind. I know Alfie keeps bringing up the Hamilton thing, but this is league race and this is different. There's no car advantage. It's different. I'd love to compare it, but one, I'm not a Hamilton fan, I guess you could tell. And 2, it's 19 seconds, not 15. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what he does. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see a good comeback like this. You could say that Blunt has sort of been handed this chance on a plate anyway, thanks to Calker's mistake. If you remember, he was off into grass and sort of becoming a bit of a lawnmower for a moment, taking down some of the hoardings. Oh, they're both locking up ahead there, Surface and KP. And Alfie is a JB fan. Oh, alright, okay. The Rain Master. The true Rain Master. Don't care what you say about Hamilton, but JB's the true Rain Master. Anyway. Danny, 3-second time penalty again. That's his one thing that's worrying him. It's really worrying him right now. Because, you know, he's only 3 seconds ahead of the nearest car. He had a decent pace, but he's going to fall right down. How many penalties did he got? He must have 3 or 4. Let's have a look. I hope these two don't go for a move. No, he's got, I think, 1. Oh, he's only got 2. Okay, I think I've just been seeing more than they're actually been. Okay, it's alright. Alfie, that's a bit weird. If he went hard, she'd be good. I mean, okay. I would clip that, but I've just said it, so someone else will clip it and put it on the internet. So blame Mr. McMahon for that. Horrible comment. That comment is weird. Good that you've noticed. Anyway, we've got 10 viewers. Hello, by the way. Like I said, do feel free to be active in the chat like these people. Maybe try not to be weird, but yeah, it'd be nice. Okay, Calkers. This is sort of hurry up and pass him now time because it's not happening. This is Surface. Calkers, this race is gone from him. I don't see him winning now. He's just not got the speed on the straight. Oh, he's going to feel a bit frustrated at some point. Jerry says that T1 and T2 should merge. Well, I mean, that's not really fair though, is it? I did suggest this idea once, like, but it wouldn't work. I don't think. But anyway, here's Surface going to give the ambitious move a go. I don't think it's going to happen there. Ah, damn it, I didn't see the shot. Ah, good, right, so Alfie has decided to change it now. If Blunt went on to hard, he'd be good till the end. You took a long time to come up with that, but I shall still remind people of your original comment when we bring this up later on. Sorry. Right, Surface, is he going to get creative soon? Because he knows he's got Calkers behind him. Although he does know he hasn't got a pace. He's got no pace advantage, does the Alpha on the straight line. So Surface knows that if Calkers has to pass him, is that going to be a mistake or a tried move that has not worked out? Keaton's asking why Calkers isn't pitting. I think Calkers is either going to go into another set of the mediums or he's going to go on softs at the end of the race. There's no reason for why he's still out. He has got his pit light on though, so maybe it will be another set of mediums. We'll maybe find out soon what he's going to do. But I would have said it's definitely going to be the mediums or softs again. And here comes Surface again. Not happening though, is it? It's just not happening. No one has the pace advantage. You would think in a straight so long it would happen, but anyway, let's see. Pitting? Yes. Okay, so no soft run. Only going to have 4-lap fresher tyres and Blunt. Still not convinced this strategy is going to work, but Blunt is in free air, but it's 16 seconds of free air, and there's a move for the lead. Round turn 1 again. Surface is going to try it. Does he throw it one up the inside? He knows he doesn't have any more worries with Calkers. And if these two can get to the end, then they'll be good. Round outside. Give it a Vettel style move here on Ricardo from 2017 if you remember that one, but he doesn't have the grip to get it all the way round. And Alfie there saying he finished second in the last 2 consecutive T2 seasons. Poor him. It has to happen eventually. I'm sure it'll happen eventually, don't worry. You'll win eventually, maybe. Oh! Surface having a wiggle on there. I think it's been a lag though, if I'm honest. I worry that I'm going to DC. I'm going to warn you now, if I DC, then I apologise. I think I'm about to. Don't DC on me, please, I beg. Please don't DC. I'm trying to commentate, internet. I've also got another lobby to host after this. I'm kind of worried watching this. Right, ignore the lag, ignore the lag. Here comes Surface, not making the move. Oh, Danny, podium again. He needs to have a great ding-dong the whole race. Hope they're recording, maybe put some clips on the internet, because they've probably got a full, proper highlights compilation of them two just swapping positions and going wide and getting penalties and doing all sorts of fun stuff. Surface, this doesn't work. Stop trying it. It doesn't work. You've got to be creative here. You've got to try something new. Dive him into the hairpin or something. He's so far behind, look. Has he got power on the brakes? Has he got confidence to go for a move like that? I guess it's probably better he isn't going for it, but he's got to try something. Keeping an eye on Blunt, by the way. This is not happening. Not at the minute. Unless these guys start to puncture or pit maybe for softs at the end, there's no feasible way that Blunt's going to get by. There always is the possibility, actually, to be fair, of another pit stop for these guys. No one said they had to stay on this strategy the whole race. They can just pit again. We'll see, though. We'll see what they do. Sauce could be quite desirable towards the end of the race. Slipstreaming. Good DRS usage. Does he fly at the inside? He probably could have if he was using any form of ERS on that straight. Danny, oh dear, 5-second penalty for corner cut, and he's got loads now. He will be behind Blunt at this rate. So Blunt, obviously a net P4. I think that's where he started, to be fair, but he's probably hoping for the win. Surface into turn 1, decides he's not going to go for his Mr. Ambitious move. And then says, actually, no, I will. And then he sort of thought about it and then said, nah. And then lost a chance. So that didn't go well. What about CYP? What's he up to? Kalker's fastest lap of the race, but then traffic. Going for it, but P6, is that really what he would have hoped for after the start he had? I think not, honestly. But he's up into P6 anyway. It may come to him later on. Maybe I'm writing these guys off too early. We might really know how long these tyres last, because I don't know how long these tyres last. These guys are going to try and make them go 23 laps. So, yeah, I mean, it's an ask, to be fair. But we shall see what they do. He's using the ERS this time. Maybe he just turned it down early last time. Yeah, I just didn't look at it at the right time. Yeah, I'm sure he'll maybe turn it down again. Yeah, he does. Okay, fair enough. Maybe he's already got enough speed. Round the outside into the hairpin. Looking to get the exit speed. Maybe to get DRS on the main straight. But nothing's happening now. Again. We wait yet again for another move. So much for this really long straight. It just doesn't work, does it? I'm kind of worried for Vietnam now. CIP, I thought I had a chance on Danny, but no. Danny just went wide. Maybe he just carried the speed through that way. On the exit, Surface doesn't really have much pace here. If he put his ERS up early enough, it's over to. He could go for a dive bomb here. Instead, he's trying on the outside. This feels like Japan last season when he lost the title, when he just didn't seem confident enough to make it work properly. He just doesn't seem to make the best moves at the best time, but listen, as long as he gets there by the end, then that's all that matters. He's got 8 laps to try and figure this out, so yeah, maybe he'll get it this time round. Let's see what he does. He's got 100% ERS, way more than KP, to be fair. Maybe he'll just sort of ruin KP's race just by, you know, saying, well, you've run out, but guess what? I've still got that full tank. Could be what he's doing. He certainly seems to be going on the ERS much later than the Toro Rosso. Dive bomb time. It's hairpin time. But he needed a bit more straight again. Unfortunately, it looks like CYP's fallen off the back of Danny. Don't know why that is, but he may have made a mistake or something. So he's sort of fallen away. So the only battle is the battle for the lead, and it's pretty stale in a minute. Pretty stale at the moment. Just sort of waiting for something to happen now. I'm waiting for their tires to explode. I wish we could get some of the information that the drivers get. Anyone else find that? I don't know how many of you have been in the commentary box before, but let me just tell you that we don't know how much fuel these guys have got left. We can't even look behind them. We can't look at a retired car after it's retired unless we were already on board with the car before it hit the wall. We can't do anything. I have no idea what their tires are like. I'm just guessing. So, help. Help us commentators out a bit, please. If I want to see how much fuel they've got left, I've got to go right up to the screen and look at it on the actual dash. I can tell you that Surface has got over a lap of fuel left. I shouldn't have to look. I shouldn't have to get my binoculars out to see that on the steering wheel. I shouldn't. Ah dear, Alfie, you gotta love his positivity. I have a feeling during the Vietnam we'll have a bottle explosion series. Why? Does that need to be said? I mean, I'm probably not to repeat it, but oh dear. Ah, you gotta love the worries about new races being put in. Never heard that one before though. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with this pass. I don't know what I would do in such a situation. Because I think that by this point I would be getting really impatient and thinking about throwing one up the inside. What would you do? What would you do if you were in the chat, instead of talking about bombs, what would you do if you were in such a situation right now? You're probably trying to save the tires a bit because you're snaking around quite a lot. But you're also trying to win the race. And you've got DRS every lap. What do you do? Do you hope that KP's tires go? Do you hope you've got more ERS in him? Which he does, but he doesn't know that. What do you do in his situation? Because I would have just thrown one up the inside by now. Give it everything. Put onto 4 ERS now, I would have done. Which he hasn't. Get the power all the way through this right-hander. And then fly past him. Zero's saying that Surface do what's called a pro gamer move. I don't get it. This is why I don't win races though, maybe, because I don't know my pro gamer skills. Does he finally go for the move? Does he? KP defends it, but once again he's going to have to go around the outside. And he's hit him, and it's not gone well at all. CIP's got back past. Side by side. And he's not passed anymore. Surface just has so much more speed. This is crazy. He needs an extra 10 mile an hour in the straight, then he'll be fine. 5 laps to go here in China, and Surface he's probably studied every little engine component in the rear end of that Toro Rosso. He could probably build a Toro Rosso now. I'm sure he's seen that much of the inside of the car. He knows absolutely everything about it. Except that he doesn't know how to pass it. That's the one crucial thing he doesn't know about this car. I don't know if KP's ever won a race before. I don't know. If anyone knows, do let me know. If you don't know, then just say nothing. Or say you don't know. It'd probably be useful enough as well. If he hasn't won a race before, then he'll probably be absolutely quickening his boots. And Surface is getting impatient, I reckon. Look at this. Trying to scare him a little bit now. I remember earlier on, Calkers was able to frighten Surface off the track to hit the lead earlier on. Well, Surface maybe tried the same thing with KP. But look how far behind he is. A little, hello, I'm here now thing. Sort of, it didn't work at all. By the way, Berra pitting after 18 laps on mediums. So the hards will get to the end rather simple. No problem there. I don't think Blunt has closed this gap at all, really. It's 14 seconds. Ah, dear. Right, surface once again. Just making sure what he could do, actually, to be fair. If he keeps saving the ERS like this, 2 laps to go, whack it up to overtake for 2 laps. You could probably do that and just do it that way. I'd always have to par for it the whole lap, because as you can see, he's not really got it at the moment. But here's a good chance. He's much closer out of here than he has been before. Why does no one ever try a little dummy move? Maybe he needs to try that. Dummy to the outside, then fly up to the inside line and slice him up and pass him. But that's not going to work. On this lap anyway. Surface, if I were you, buddy. And I'm not. But ERS up to 4 now and keep it there. And then just fly past him on the straight. This is for the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. There is only 3 laps to go after this lap. We are not too far from the end here. It's 6/10. And DRS had overtaken probably Rich Mix and not much ERS to defend with for KP. How the hell is this guy still not past him yet? I don't know. Either KP's driving the best race he's ever driven, or this guy doesn't know how to drive with his ERS and use it properly. Or he's just saved it to the end. I'm sure he must be saving this to the end. He has to be, right? He has to be saving this to the end. As Jerry says, there isn't too much time before the big straight. So how about you just put your ERS up earlier before you do that right-hander, and you'll have a great launch off the corner. I don't know. He's also saved fuel. I think he's still got over a lap of fuel. He's probably put that up to Rich Mix now as well. Surely it's all about preparing for these last couple of laps. Getting him when he's most vulnerable, I guess, at the very end. But we'll wait and see what he does. Not making the move yet. By the way, we've also got COP and Danny fighting, but I think Danny's probably going to fall down to about 6th place with penalties, so... Jerry's saying he's using 0 ERS for better traction, but he's not getting the actual purchase of the track. He's got more traction, but he's not accelerating quickly enough. I would take slightly less traction for bigger acceleration because it will help you. This is not working. Unless KP makes a mistake. Oh, they're saying that his rear end is going a bit, isn't it, Service? Maybe he is struggling with it a bit, but he needs to hurry up now and go for this. It's the same gap as the last lap. Here he goes. KP's still got a decent amount of ERS to defend with on the big straight, which is what he needs to defend on primarily. Surface nearly running to the back there. Look, he's running out of ideas. Danny's been overtaken by CIP, I think, there again. CIP, maybe he doesn't know it, but he's already sort of got the podium in the bag. But 2 laps now to go. Surface has been on the back of this guy forever. I don't know when, it's just taken forever. You know, KP got by really easily, but Surface just hasn't been able to find his way afterwards. 2 laps to go. He's absolutely got no reason to be saving the ERS at this point. KP is now pulling away from him. Keep it on at least 2 or 3 for most of the lap, and then put it up to 4 on the big straight. Because you have to do something, and he is keeping it up now, but his tyres are starting to go. Is he waiting too long? Has he waited too long? Is he going to lose this one now? Like I say, it feels a lot like Japan last season when he lost the title, because he just didn't go for the move when he needed to go for the move, and it didn't really look great. I mean, he threw it up the inside at the end of the race in a bit of desperation for the title. It didn't work out though. This time, I'm sure he knows that he's doing a bit more as Danny gets yet another penalty. But he has to get this done. He has to move. He has to get this man gone, because he is running out of time. KP, he has saved this ERS right up, and he's pulling away. And Surface, I think he's lost this race. There's no way he's getting by unless unless KP makes a mistake, Surface pressurizes him into that mistake, or he passes him. Only a few miles to go, and it is now desperation time for Surface. He's now starting to drive a bit more erratically. He is under the final lap. So is KP. like I say, Surface could build a bloody Toro Rosso. At the amount of the race he's been behind that thing, he has inspected every little part. He would love to have a look in his mirror to see what the front of it looks like, but first he has to get by. He is very close. He's keeping this gap small. He is setting his fastest first sector of the race. I say he was maybe saving this for the end, but he's still not using it. Use the ERS, man. You're absolutely driving me crazy. You're losing the race because you can't use your ERS. Use it. You got over half a tank. Your man ahead's using it like a man, I'm sure. He must be starting to use it a bit more. He's low on fuel though. Surface has got loads. Did he wait too long with the fuel as well? This just feels like a comedy of errors for Surface, unfortunately. And I think there's a crash. Pirate has been off. He will probably fall down to 8th there. But this is last chance saloon here. Surface is not going to get past unless KP makes a severe mistake right now. Or Surface makes a fantastic dive bomb. DRS is enabled for him, but it's just not going to happen here. He's got so much fuel. He's got 1.7 laps of extra fuel. Why aren't you using it, man? Oh, man. So, KP91F1 is coming around the final corner to take the victory here in the T1 race at China. The tyres did hold on, and he had enough power to defend with. But on penalties, Surface gets him anyway, because of the 5-second penalty for unserved penalty, which I didn't see pop up in case you hadn't noticed. So, well, that's interesting. Didn't see that one pop up, actually. Of course, now I remember it. See, I remember this stuff though. This is why I normally take the penalties. Ignore my incompetence. That never happened. Shush. I'm not seeing anyone going at shush. Because he cut the corner, remember? But of course it says you can appeal these, because it did seem rather harsh penalty. I don't know how many warnings he had beforehand, because I did mention you can appeal. He only had one other warning, so it's not out of the question. He could appeal this, so we'll wait and see what happens. Listen, shut up. I'm going to get... I don't care what you're all saying in the chat. He could get it overturned and I can still be right. CIP's 3rd, Blunt 4th, Calcus 5th. I said Danny would be 6th, so give me credit for that. Scarp is 7th, Pony 8th. Puncture, that's why he spun off Pirate. He should finish 9th though still, it's a long gap to Berra. But Surface lead, he's won the race on the penalty. But will KP be able to appeal it? We'll wait and see. But I am thoroughly embarrassed. Because I may or may not have definitely forgotten that there was a penalty, because I got more frustrated that this guy couldn't pass a single car. He's still behind him. He's still behind him. Anyway, here comes Barra to finish the race. Apologies for that, people. Note to self, look at penalties next time. So we'll confirm the order, provisional order, very provisional. And I've got to go actually quite quickly, so I'm going to have to skip these podium stuff. Sorry, podium. I'm sure you're having a great time, but I'm going to have to skip you. So, finishing order. Service from KP. SLR CIP with his SLR teammate Blunt. Calcus 5th, Danny 6th, Skinner 7th, Pony 8th, Pirate 9th, and Barrett 10th, with our retirements being Petrus and Millix Jr. And, well, so much for the great strategy then for the likes of Blunt and Calkers. And in the end, in the words of Mr. McMahon, if I can ever find it, that is, of course, because I'm going to find it and just remind you of what he thought was going to happen. If he went hard, she'd be good. Did nothing. So, Mr. McMahon, you were wrong. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope KP gets that penalty removed so I don't look like a complete idiot. And I will see you next time for Baku. Uh-oh. Bring your hard hat, people. Safe travels.